What happens when a small-town crooked cop completely pisses off a Marine drill instructor? His name is Jack. That morning he drove to the town courthouse, planning to bail out his younger brother. But suddenly a police car appeared behind him, and without a word it rammed Jack to the ground. As a retired soldier, Jack didn't want trouble, but these cops had no intention of letting him go. They accused him of stealing the bicycle he was riding, and demanded to check his ID. When they found nothing unusual, they started rummaging through his backpack. Soon, they pulled out $36,000 in cash. Jack quickly explained it was bail money for his brother. The cops' eyes lit up. They said since Jack's brother was locked up for a crime, the money was probably dirty cash, and if it was dirty, they had the right to seize it. If Jack disagreed, they'd arrest him for conspiracy. Faced with losing the money, or losing the money and going to jail, Jack reluctantly chose to give in, because what mattered most was bailing his brother out. His brother was set to testify as a key witness. If he was transferred to prison, chances were slim he'd make it out alive. When Jack arrived at the courthouse, the staff told him no bail could be made without cash. Jack explained the cops had seized it, and showed them the receipt, with the police's fresh stamp, but the court only recognized money, not paperwork. Just then, a lawyer who had been watching approached Jack. She said she had a solution. The police had exploited a loophole, but if they filed a lawsuit, she was confident she could win. The problem was, Jack's brother would be sent to prison in 3 days, while a lawsuit would take at least 2 years. The urgent matter was raising $20,000 to bail his brother out. That night, penniless Jack had no choice but to sleep in the wilderness. But with his killer instincts, how could he swallow such humiliation? At dawn, he marched into the police station, claiming he'd been robbed. Sure enough, the crooked cop showed up, immediately accusing Jack of filing a false report, and tried to arrest him. Just then, the chief arrived, ordering Jack to get out of the station. Seeing how corrupt the department was, Jack tried to reason with the chief instead. He asked the chief to hand over 20 grand, and said the rest could be kept by the officers for coffee. He promised he wouldn't bring in lawyers to stir trouble. Hearing that, the chief's attitude changed instantly. He agreed to release Jack's brother the next morning at the station. So once again, Jack spent the night sleeping under the open sky. But when he showed up the next day as promised, he saw the prison van already leaving. The shameless chief said Jack was 1 minute late, so his brother had already been transferred. Panicked, Jack ignored the chief, and rushed to chase the van by bike. He told his brother again and again to keep a low profile in prison, and never let enemies spot him. Jack promised he'd find a way to get him out soon. Little did he know, this would be the last time the brothers ever spoke. Jack then sought out an old partner to borrow money, but the chief had already traced Jack's contacts. He shut down the partner's restaurant, and hauled his safe back to the station. Hearing this, Jack was furious. He couldn't understand why these corrupt cops were pushing him to the edge. Fueled with rage, he stormed to the police station, ready to confront the chief face to face.